back, ladies and gentlemen. We're joined with Liam Paro, so we're going to jump right into it. How are you, Liam?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, thank you for stopping by. And Danny, how are you?
I'm good, champ. I'm good.
So Danny was blessed to see you spar yesterday, man. I was invited, but I was going through some things, and I was not able to make it as we had an event get canceled. But what could you tell us from what you see, man? How good is Liam Paro?
No, I mean, obviously we've seen him in the ring. We're very familiar. I thought I was a little too familiar with you because in your last fight, I knew you had the win, but I'm not gonna lie, I bet you the win decision. And obviously you had the big knockout, but it was all good. I knew you were right there. I mean, I want to ask you because you were #1 in the world, got dropped to #2. You haven't lost. You had a spectacular knockout. I think I know. You know why that happened, but, what can you tell us?
That's just typical boxing politics, I think, right there. Look, it is what it is, but, you can't derail yourself from that. You just got to keep that mindset on the job, focused. I know my time will come, and the longer we wait, I'm just getting all those 1%ers in the gym, so just being an all-round complete fighter. So by the time when my time comes, I'll be ready. But, look, it's boxing politics for sure.
And, obviously you're in the gym getting quality work, have a date, heading over to the UK soon, or are you going back to Australia before going to Liverpool?
No, I'm based in Vegas now, permanently. So
permanently.
Yeah. I needed to make the move. I was here for camps. It's the fight capital of the world, so made the move here, better my career. We're heading to the UK. God willing, get the job done and dominating performance and fashion, and then head back here and see what's next.
When did you make the permanent move to Vegas?
The start of December, I moved here full time. I was over here for 12-week camps at a time. Then I'm going back home, but just bit the bullet and decided to make the move here full time. So it's paying off.
Now, I could imagine because that's a 18-hour flight, 17-hour flight back home. Something like that. So making the move to Vegas, was it just the quality of work and sparring that you're able to get compared to, I could imagine Australia, you probably had to fly in work or just use what you had in and around your area?
Yeah, 100%, man. We're very limited over there. We're so far away. We're very isolated part of the world. So it's expensive bringing sparring partners in, and then also very limited. You only have 1 or 2 at a time. We come to Las Vegas, man. Everyone's here, every style you need. So it only makes sense. I want to better myself, better my career, and you got to make sacrifices. And coming over here was that was it. Leave my family behind, and it's only for that short window to make it. So you got to do what you got to do, but it's definitely paying off.
Well, obviously, you said beginning of December?
Yeah, that's right. For the full time, yeah.
So obviously it hasn't been that long, but how have you liked it? And for this camp, getting work with the Undisputed champ, I'm sure that's definitely gonna help sharpen tools for March the 11th.
No, definitely, man. It's you can't match that work. It's arguably one of the best fighters in the game today. So getting work in there and in competitive rounds with him is a true blessing. And I'll just keep taking it and just keep improving on myself.
Now I know you guys have sparred before. How long ago was the previous sparring session?
That would have been close to 2 years ago now, I think. We just got one session in. I think that's before he fought Jojo Diaz. But that's like around 2 years ago, and yesterday that you seen was just the most recent one. So I think I'll get some more working with him. God willing, I get my job done March 11th. That's what's all in my mind, and then who knows, might finish off the camp with him for Loma. So.
Yeah, especially now living in Vegas, that's just an opportunity, living here in Vegas that you'll
wouldn't
be able
otherwise
to get.
come.
Yeah, being in Australia, I'm sure it's a lot tougher.
But how, in your opinion, does working with Devin Haney prepare you for Robbie Davies Jr.?
Look, the styles aren't very similar at all, but it's more of the mental confidence. I'm in there with the Undisputed lightweight champion, holding my own. Robbie Davies Jr. isn't on that level. You know what I mean? So it's a big mental aspect, I believe, getting that mind right, because it's a very important part of boxing. But that's hats off to my coach Steve Rollins for doing that and bringing that aspect in. You know, like the style's different, but hey, man, if you're in there mixing it with the best in the world, you know, it's unbelievable for your mindset.
For sure. And Liam, your promotional situation is with Matchroom, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So is there, I guess, any hope for you to get in the ring with Richardson Hitchens, who just was signed and is kind of making waves on Matchroom, or are you looking in another direction since you're highly ranked in the WBO?
Look, man, I'm looking to get that title. You know, I've been in the top 2 for the last 2.5 years, so I want them big names now. You know, well, hats off to him. He's going good. But who knows? Down in the future, he keeps winning. He could be a possible opponent. But at this moment, it's my sights are set on the big names at the top of the division. You know, I want to prove myself and set myself up at the top there.
Now, let me just. It looks like the WBO just ordered Tszyu and Josh to negotiate within 10 days. How hopeful are you that you can be the mandatory to the winner of that fight?
Look, you know, I've got to get through March 11 first. I can't get through Robbie Davies Jr., then there goes in my title intentions for a few years. But, look, they get that fight on. I truly believe that we'll be in that mandatory number 1 position for that title. And you know, who knows, hopefully finish the year with a title shot and, God willing, become world champion.
I want to ask, because I saw, I actually knew Eddie was in town maybe like a week or 2 ago, and I saw that you guys sat down for dinner. This is the next conversation after the fight, right? So he already announced May 20th in Ireland. Guess who they're trying to go a week later in Ireland? Josh and Tszyu. So you have them bring you out to Croke Park. You interact with the Irish boxing fans. They're expecting 80,000 if they do it at that stadium. And then you make a vacation out of it. You stay another week. You're ringside, and you know the winner got to see you next, Liam.
No, 100%. That's it. You know, but
because we know boxing. I knew you were that number 1, but you know, and I told Frank, you know, I'm like, it's the politics. You know, we get it, but hopefully you get that opportunity, and that'd be dope. March the 11th, though. What would you say is the biggest thing you have to look out for when it comes to Robbie Davies Jr.?
Look, we've watched a bit of him. There's nothing over the top that we're worried about. We're very confident in our tools, in our training to get the job done. But look, he's fit, he's tough, and this is his last chance at getting a world title intentions. You know what I mean? So I feel the pressure's all on him. It's in his backyard. I feel it's his last shot. He's at the end of his career, I believe, and yeah. But he's gonna bring absolutely everything to the table. So. Look, he's hungry, but I looked at his record, and he's never fought an undefeated fighter. So he's trying to say in other podcasts that, you know, he hasn't, like, I haven't matched the same kind of opponents as him. Man, he's never faced an undefeated fighter. There's one thing I don't know how to lose. I'm young, I'm hungry, and I want that title shot. So, you know, I feel like I'm going to teach him a lesson in that aspect on March 11th.
That's crazy.
I mean, he has been in there with some decent names. He beat Hank Lundy, who's definitely a decent fighter, road warrior, and he got the win over Javier Molina, who's pretty sure was an Olympian. Didn't medal, but definitely I believe he was an Olympian. He's also pedigree because both he and his brother boxed. So yeah, you know, and those are his last 2 wins. So he must be feeling high on himself. You know, his two biggest names, 2 biggest last wins. So I can see why he feels that way.
I wanted to ask you, how long have you been with Matchroom?
I signed with Matchroom after my Tampa fight.
Okay, so
and then only had 1 fight last year. So
beautiful. Who got you that Tampa fight? Because that was a Jake Paul undercard.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of come out of nowhere. Really, it was. We were training, just coming over for a camp. We had no fight date. Kind of just come across
here in Vegas,
Steve and my coach Steve and Alfie and Ace Boxing kind of got that. The fight here in Vegas?
No, I'm saying
I was over here training. Yeah, in Vegas.
Okay, in Vegas,
just for a training camp.
Okay.
We didn't have a fight date locked in, and yeah, then it kind of come out with about 4 or 5 weeks till the fight. We got that opportunity, and yeah, we took it with both hands. So,
do you believe that kind of helped put you on the map more? and help you get that Matchroom deal, or were you already in talks? Or
I think it definitely helped seal the deal. We're in talks with a few companies, but yeah, I think that helped seal the deal. You know what I mean? It was, I learned a lot in that fight. You know what I mean? It was adversity I had to face, but no, it was good. But I do believe it did help me seal the deal with Matchroom for sure.
now, obviously, having to face adversity, you got knocked down in the first, came back, you won the fight, signed the deal. Now, not too far away, knocking on the door of a world title opportunity. But, I just wanted to ask the experience overall, because, yeah, you got knocked down, but you still came out with the victory. But it was also your first fight outside of your home country. So, huge. I mean, Australia, I feels like far from everything. So,
Yeah, definitely.
you're definitely far from home, not in your backyard by any means. So what was the entire experience like, and also fighting on such a big card with Jake Paul?
Yeah, man, it was crazy. Going from a packed out 3,000 people arena in Brisbane, Australia, to 25,000 in Tampa. It was unbelievable. The whole build up was crazy. I never experienced anything like that. But it was good. I just took it in my stride, and yeah, it was awesome. It was a really good experience. And shout out to Jake Paul for giving us that opportunity to showcase our skill on that level. But yeah, man, it was crazy, and it just makes you more keen and that more motivated to get to those big fights. And every fight would, like in a stadium that big, would be unbelievable.
Now, that being said, this is going to be now your second time fighting outside of your home country. What experiences, or I guess, what is your biggest takeaway that you'll bring into, going into the Davies fight?
Look, we handle most pressure pretty good. We put in the hard work here and with Steve and the gym here in Vegas, and we're getting good rounds in. So, man, I just keep level-headed. You know what I mean? But like I said before, I feel like the pressure's on him. I'm coming to his backyard to challenge him for a fight. So it's I feel like he's gonna have more pressure than me. You know what I mean? He's got a lot more of his hometown support there. We've got no pressure, I feel. So I'm just keen to go get the job done over there.
So how long have you been in Vegas now?
He said December.
December, yeah, but I was back and forth. So this is my third camp here. I was living here 3 months at a time for the camp. So on and off, about 2 years. But now I've just made the move permanently.
Since December.
Since December, yeah.
Nice. And what gym are you training out of?
We train all around, but mostly City Athletic. We're doing most of our work out of there, yeah.
How you like it at City?
No, it's good, man. It's good.
So you did spar Alberto Ochoa at City, or helped him out?
Yeah, helped him out. Yeah.
How was that? How good is he?
No, he's good, man. For a novice, he's got a lot of skill. He's trained by a whole Casamayor, so
Yeah.
man, he's got a lot of skill for someone that's very green. So I'm always happy to help out people who are on the come up. So he's a good kid too. So yeah.
And being a southpaw yourself, did you try to soak anything in from Joel Casamayor?
Look, I've watched a fair few of his fights. We see each other nearly every day at the gym. He's a good dude. So yeah, I'm always open to learning everything. So yeah.
It's funny, man, because I remember that Brock fight, and I looked over the resume and I said to myself, I ain't really see a recognizable name. I'm thinking you going to take him at least the distance. I remember saying he's never lost, so he doesn't know how to lose. But Brock was such a, aggressive style. I never in a million years, you ruined my parlay, let me tell you. I never in a million years thought you were going to knock him out, let alone in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be way tougher than that. So
no, it was good, man.
I'm definitely locked in, man.
No, it was good. It was couldn't write the script any better. You know what I mean? So, but a lot of people see that, man. I punch a lot harder than what it looks. So he found out that the hard way. But it was good. You don't get paid overtime in this. So
No, definitely don't. And also, I think it was good for you on a bigger picture, because obviously your first fight under Matchroom, but it was their first show in Australia. So you set off fireworks and did it the right way.
Let me follow up on that, because were you not signed under, I guess, the pretense of Dazn Australia?
No, just Matchroom and Dazn, yeah. So
because I remember they launched out in Australia, and then there was a lot of signings, just like they launched in Italy, and Matchroom did a lot of signings. But that's good for you. Then it's not just based for Australia, because obviously this one's going to be in Liverpool.
Yep.
But I just wanted to make clarify that. Make sure.
So, you have been, prior to the Matchroom signing, I guess it'd been a while, right? 10 months out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
What are the talks with Eddie? How many fights can we expect this year? Or do you think it's going to be kind of a bit of a waiting game due to the potential title fight?
Look, who knows, man? I love fighting. That's the reason I took this fight too. They're all risks now. If I don't beat these guys, it's back to drawing board for a little bit. But if I can't beat these guys, I also believe I don't deserve a title shot. I need to keep winning, and I want to have a busy year. I really do. That one fight last year, I didn't like that at all. But it is what it is, and look, like I said, I've got no other focus apart from March 11, getting the job done, and we've got to see what happens with the division with Taylor and Lopez. With boxing, until it's signed and sealed, you can't believe everything. So, but look, I want to keep busy, man. I really do, and I really hope I get that title shot this year.
You are 1,000%.
Let me piggyback this since he brought up Taylor and Teofimo. We got a Patreon question from David Maldonado that says, "What's up, champ? Who wins between Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor, in your opinion?"
Look, if I'm backing Josh Taylor, I think if he's on, he's had that one fight with Catterall. I believe Catterall should have all the belts after that last fight, but I think Josh Taylor will get the job done. I really do.
Do you think he stops him, or do you think it goes decision?
Just depends what Josh Taylor we get. You know what I mean? If I think he struggles with weight a fair bit, which we've seen in the Catterall fight. He looked flat as, but it just depends who shows up on the night. But I feel like Josh Taylor will get it done pretty convincingly. I don't know about stoppage, but yeah, I'm backing Taylor.
Do you think that Teofimo shouldn't take this fight? Not many people are really impressed with his 2 fights at 140. Some say that he's not the old Tszyu since the George Kambosos loss. Do you think that he's ready for that Josh Taylor shot?
Look, man, why not? If he beats Josh Taylor, then he's back right to where he left off. You know what I mean? So people are criticizing him at the moment, but all it takes is one win, and he's back right in the driver's seat again. So good on him for taking the fights, but that's what you want, the big fights, man. And it's good to see that boxing is starting to do that again. The best are trying to fight the best, So, look, I think it's smart for him to take the fight, especially now with all the criticism, for sure.
Who would you rather fight?
Let me jump in. Did you see him second guessing himself live on television?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seen that.
What
was
was
a close
thoughts?
fight too with Sandor Martin, the Spaniard. Yeah, that was very close. A lot of people thought it went the other way, but it is what it is. Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that specifically? I mean, because typically, we're not privy and, we don't hear what's going on, like post-fight, things like that. So that was a very unique moment that, the world got to see. Just your thoughts.
Of him second guessing himself?
Yeah, in the ring.
Man, it just shows that headspace isn't right there. You know what I mean? Like, to do it there on that stage in front of all the cameras must have really been playing on your mind to, because you think that's something you talk about behind closed doors, not for the whole world to see. So, who knows what's going on there, but you gotta have your mind right in boxing, man. It's more than half your mental game, so you gotta have a strong mind.
I wanted to ask, well, I think you might have not heard, but who would you rather fight out of Josh Taylor and Tszyu? Man,
honestly, whoever has the belt. I want to fight everyone. I want to fight all the names here. I personally believe Progress is the man at the division right now. Going after Josh Taylor's last fight, I think Progress is the man. But I want all the big names. I want to keep proving that I belong at the top, and that's what it's all about: testing yourself to the ultimate limit, and trying to knock off all them big names would be unbelievable.
Damn, it's crazy because rumor was that Tszyu was in place to make that fight with Regis, but apparently the finances weren't big enough as the Josh Taylor showdown. Mm-hmm. So obviously money demands, and I think that's gonna be a great fight regardless. But I personally like Regis, and I would like to see him in some exciting fights. But it's kind of hard when you don't have a major promoter behind you. So
for sure. 100%.
You know, I think Regis gives.
But that opens up opportunities for guys like yourself because, you know, Matchroom can make him an offer to face you. You know, he right now, Rick Mirgan is only putting Arnold Barboza and Zepeda back on the table. Obviously, there was a possible fight with Ryan Garcia if the Tank Davis fight couldn't get done on the 15th. But Regis doesn't have a lot of options, you know, so Matchroom could make him an offer for a possible fight with yourself.
I think that'd be a big fight. I wanted to ask you, you've relocated here, but is Matchroom, do you know, is Matchroom trying to build you in Australia since they are trying to build the Matchroom Australia roster and things like that?
Yeah, look, I think so. You know, we want to get a bigger household name in Australia. But for the training wise, I need to be here. You know what I mean? I'm Australian. I'm a proud Australian. Always will be. But you have to kind of journey out if you want to keep bettering yourself. You know, and back there, it's not going to happen. So I've got to be here for training, no matter where I'm fighting in the world. I'm comfy in Vegas. I think it works well for me. So
I'm glad you're here, and you know I agree, and we always preach it on the show. You know, he's from the East Coast, and even in New York, that has a rich history of boxing, and the East Coast having rich history of boxing, Philly, and all throughout. He's like, it's different in Vegas. It's another level in Vegas. That being said, though, obviously the big time difference. So if you get a fight out there, how far out would you go back to readjust? And, you know, obviously you'd have to finish training camp out there, but how far out do you think, because you've made the trip now a few times.
Yeah, we've done it, and we did it for the last fight. So about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. 2 weeks is perfect. That's what we did last time, and felt phenomenal on fight night. So that's a perfect amount of time to do it and acclimatize. So
do you have like a trick, if you will? Like with Devin, he said that the first time he went out there, he landed in the morning, and the moment he landed, he went to go run. And that helped him stay up throughout that day and kind of get readjusted. So the second time he said he did the same thing and that it worked. Do you have anything that kind of helps you?
That's what we do when we're vice versa here or there. Just go there and hit the ground running, try to get back in the routine as quick as possible, you know. But the best thing is a good workout straight away. Just try to get your body back and, feeling as normal as possible, quick as possible. So that's what we do. We come here, fly in. Depending what time I land, it's straight into a session.
So I wanted to jump in when you said proud Australian. Obviously, Tszyu is going to be taking on Tony Harrison in a very dangerous fight that he didn't have to take. Like, you know, he could have just had a regular fight.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
Picking Harrison is sending a statement, especially if he can get that win.
I feel like being in the gyms here, the talk is a lot of people feel Harrison is a more dangerous opponent for Tszyu than Charlo was.
Yep.
So
what?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah.
Why though?
It's the way some people feel.
I mean, no way, man. Jamel has power and can box. Like
I guess they feel that, you know what I'm saying, that
he's a difficult style.
That first Castaño fight, he got touched a lot. He got rocked.
But it's that style. And Tszyu is a little bit like that, but he's also not like that. Like, I'm pretty sure Terrell Gausha put him down, who's not considered a puncher.
Yeah, he put him down in the
now
first
you're gonna get
round,
in there with a counter puncher who's also a puncher. Man, that's a recipe for disaster.
And that Harrison fight's a big risk.
It is.
Considering going for all the belts, like you said, man. But hats off to him. It's showing he wants to fight everyone, but on a business move, it's probably not the smartest. It's a big risk. But hey, like, man, I'm in Tim's corner all the time. You know, any Aussie, I'm going to be backing for sure.
What sort of statement does it send to the people in Australia and just the boxing community out there if he gets that win?
Oh, that he's legit. You know what I mean? He's definitely legit. Like, I believe he deserves that shot as it is, but that would definitely cement it in for sure that he deserves a shot at all the belts.
I mean,
it's a hard fight.
Beating the only man to beat Charlo, I think if people doubted him being deserving before, they probably wouldn't doubt it after when. I've seen both men in camp. Obviously, Tim was out here recently, and I've been up to Detroit to see Tony and Alicia. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. It's a fight that I've been arguing a lot. The moment it was announced, back and forth in the gyms and the gym talk, and just arguing on how that fight plays out. But I think it's gonna be a great fight.
How do you see it? How do you see it playing out?
He going Tony, you know that.
Yeah, I'm going Tony, but
yeah.
I said no. But I've said it, and I mean, I've told you on camera and off camera. I say Tony can't get bored in the ring.
Yeah,
I think he got
I don't
bored.
know who I'm picking, because while I believe Tony is has more tools in the basket, you got to question his tank or his chin. You don't know, what is it? Is it the chin or is it the tank that gives up? Some people like him or others like to say, oh, he got bored in the ring. I don't believe bored happens in the ring. It's either the chin or the tank.
And when I say bored, he needs to stay disciplined all 12 rounds. He needs to stay disciplined all 12 rounds. I think that we saw it in the second Charlo fight. A lot of people felt he was up on the cards. He started taunting, started talking shit. That's when he got caught and got hurt. So I think if he stays disciplined for the 12 rounds, I think that he beats Tim.
On a decision, you think?
Yeah, on a decision. So much experience.
He's got to box exactly how he did with Sergio Garcia. It's got to be jab, counterpunch, pivot, move, jab, double jab, pivot. You can't stay in front of Tszyu because he's youthful, you know. How old is Tony right now? 34 at least. Gotta be.
Pull it up. Yeah, Tony's been in the game for a minute.
I want him to win, but
32.
It's going to be tough.
He's a 90s
but
baby.
he is focused. If you follow him, you know he's like on weight already and saying how motivated he is. And I, before I got in this sport, that phrase was there. You know, some fighters get up for the level of the opposition or fight down to the level of opposition.
And he said
He's
it.
hungry, man. You know, he said like he wants that shot at Charlo again, and this is
yeah,
his way.
this is his way.
You just have to wait. It's a good fight, but like I said, I'm gonna back the Aussie. I'm gonna back Tszyu to get it done. But man, it's gonna be a hell of a fight, definitely.
For sure.
I'm just curious because obviously it was a big event. Your last fight was the day before the Kambosos Haney rematch. Were you able to watch it?
Yeah, we watched the fight. I didn't make it down there. We're in different
Different. I
cities.
knew. Yeah, I knew it was in
Yeah.
different cities, but
no, I watched the fight. Yeah, for sure.
and seeing. I mean, obviously George came up short on the stick, but first event I think they did 45,000 at Marvel Stadium.
Yeah.
And then the second one, that's where the Australian Open is played. So that's a legendary venue for them to fight at. What was that like for you? I mean, obviously he came up short, but I'm sure that's only a dream for you to be able to, be undisputed or,
Yeah, for sure.
I personally didn't think he was undisputed, but that was a whole nother argument. But, just be on top and,
Call the shots.
call the shots, man.
Man, it'd be unreal. You know, you're in the driver's seat there with all the belts, got all the pull. But I made it to the first fight at Marvel Stadium. That was a good turnout. But
How was that experience like? Because it wasn't like it started in the morning, right?
yeah, no, it was pretty good. It was a good experience.
Went to breakfast.
Yeah, just chilled out. So I wasn't in camp, so I was relaxing. It was enjoying life. So no, it was good, man. It was good. It was good to see the Australia pull a crowd like that, for sure. Like Melbourne is very supportive of every sport. And that's the reason they held it down there in Melbourne. So no, it was good, man. And it is a dream to pack out stadiums like that, especially in Australia.
Liam, you seem like such a nice
jump in
guy.
there?
Go ahead.
Does he fall under Australian history for being able to bring all the belts there and have those two events, or the fact that he wasn't able to get the wins in either of those fights?
Man, no way. He was undisputed. Like they labeled him undisputed champion, and that's the first guy ever in Australia to do that. So, 100%, I believe he's done the most. That belt wise, it's happened ever in Australia. You know what I mean? So you got to give credit where it's due, and he come out here and he beat Tszyu for them belts. So you got to respect that, and he's done a lot for Australian boxing for that.
Does he need to do more in his career for him to have a son to open the doors the way that Costa Tszyu has opened the doors for Tim? Or you think with what he's done, if he retires, his son will have an easy path where
Look,
George did not, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Look, man, he's still got a fair bit in him. He's still pretty young. He's still hungry he's still training. So if the story hasn't ended, then the book's not closed yet for George. Hopefully, man, down the track, there could be a big fight between me and him, or similar,
That's
man.
where I was going.
That's, who knows when that could happen, if he wants to come up to 140. Look, but my visions is set on the 140-pound division now and that title, but could be a remake of Anthony Mundine, Danny Green, Could be a good retirement fund for us both at the end of our careers, but who knows, that could be a big potential domestic fight.
Yeah, I had to ask because you seem like such a nice guy, and you say you're going to always back your guys, but at the end of the day,
if it comes to being opposition, then you know what I mean?
I'm sure when you were in Marvel Stadium, you imagined yourself in that ring.
Oh, for sure. Any fighter would, It's that's what dreams are made of. That's what you fight for. That's what you dream of, is that kind of exposure and packing out stadiums like that. So, yeah, man, it was a good G up, and it just motivates you to make it,
Do you think George is your nemesis? Is he your Triple G to Canelo's, Golovkin?
In what way? What do you mean, like?
Is he your nemesis the way Floyd had Pacquiao? The way that Earl has Bud?
I reckon it could be built up to be like that for sure, I got to keep winning, you know what I mean? But look, it could, man. Like I said, that could be a huge domestic fight. They could build the shit out of that, man. So I hope it happens in the future, near future, wherever.
I think that every fighter needs that. Like Amanda Serrano has Katie Taylor. You know,
100%.
She'll probably go to Croke Park, win or lose, and retire. Floyd had Pacquiao. Canelo had Golovkin. He got lucky to get Floyd. Every fighter needs that to get to that next level. That's why everybody's craving Tank and Ryan, Earl and Bud.
I gotta ask, because I haven't been in the business too long. We're the same age, but I've talked to I think a fair share of Australian fighters, and I have to say everybody has been very nice and respectful, opened arms, and man, we were in Mexico with the Maloneys, and everybody's been great. And George was the one fighter that kind of stood out, very outspoken, a bit loud. And I'm going to be honest, there were some Australian fans, maybe even some fighters, maybe even some trainers that would tell us, yo, we're not like that. A lot of people aren't backing George because of that. Did you get that sense, or do you think that he was just...
I think Mundine was like that, though, right? Wasn't Mundine just as cocky as
100%.
Kambosos?
For sure, but at the end of the day, he's selling fights, and that's his way around it. Everyone has a different approach to a fight, so that could be his way of getting his head in the game, but everything works different for every person. Like, I'm very humble, you know what I mean? I just like getting in there and fighting. I feel like the talking ain't going to do much. You got to fight at the end of the day, but look, it worked for him, man. He made some noise, and
definitely works.
So hats off to him.
It's the Mundine blueprint. Mundine almost got a Mayweather shot, bro. Like, I think the only guy that didn't work for was Shannon Briggs, and because he started the whole Let's Go Champ so late that it was probably hard to get him approved in certain commissions. But the Clubber Lane route works. It really works. And Mundine, he used that well. He got a lot of opportunities.
What is G up? Because I heard you say it, and I remember George has
clothing said G up.
Yeah, like a G up. Like, I don't know, man, how to explain it. A G up, like a hype up. Like, it hypes you up. You know what I mean? Like I seen in the stadium, I was G'd up. I was hyped up about it.
Okay.
So it's kind of just Aussie slang then. Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm in Australia, I want to get the Aussies hyped
G'd
up. I'm
gonna G them up. Yeah.
I'm gonna G them up. Okay. All right.
So is this your trainer?
That's my coach. Yeah, Steve Rollins.
Oh, Steve, you didn't want to be on camera and no mic or nothing for Steve. So how'd you link up with him?
Through my management and coach back in Australia, Ace Boxing Angelo DiCarlo. They've been friends of Steve's for a long time, and he sent a lot of fighters over here, and they get sent me over with him like 2 years ago, and man, it's the best thing that's ever happened. We're hitting new levels, and yeah, it's a true blessing. It's good, man. It's only just the start.
So I'm obviously we're talking a little bit of Australian boxing and history. What's your thoughts on Jeff Horn?
Jeff Horn's good, man. I was his main sparring partner for Pacquiao and Terence Crawford. So I was very young in my career. So I was very blessed to get that opportunity. He's a good dude, man. And hats off to him. And yeah, like I said, I'm very thankful for the opportunity I got so early on to help him out in his preps. So
He made a name for himself out of nowhere.
I gotta ask because obviously being in that Pacquiao camp, you were obviously at the fight. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I was at the fight there. Yeah, it was.
What was more memorable, Suncourt Stadium or Suncourt? Right?
He's gonna.
Oh, for sure, man.
Or
That was
Marvel.
That was man. Pacquiao brings the
it's Pacquiao,
brings the
bro.
people, man. It was.
And it was more people there, no?
I
Wasn't
think
it 50?
No,
I think
close
it was
to 80,000.
Yeah, it was more.
What?
Pacquiao, yeah, that place was packed, man.
80?
Let me pull
80,000
that up.
people.
Wow.
Pretty sure.
What
yeah,
did you think of the decision?
I thought Jeff got it. He worked hard. You know, he did the right thing right from the start. He did not show him any respect. He was there to get the job done.
Did you think he was going to do better versus Crawford?
I didn't know, man, but then that just proves how good Crawford really is.
51,000.
I knew I was right.
Yeah,
he
50.
said 80. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
well, it fits 80,000, I think so.
Yeah. Because it's a rugby
that was,
stadium, I believe.
It's crazy. You guys have had a run for sure because even Michael Safada, I don't know where you would put him because he didn't win a world title or anything like that, but he's memorable to me. Like I watched his fights. Like I lived the Anthony Mundine career, but I've also lived the Safada career. I watched that big fight that he got with Peter Quillen, and then he was able to get a Jeff Horn fight, right? So like, you know, and he's highly ranked right now. Somehow he's number one in the middleweight division.
Yeah, for sure. So
The best thing that can happen for him is he gets like a Sergio Martinez, who's like number 2, but you know.
I think he's chasing
way up there.
Triple G and stuff like that. So
Yeah, he's got to go for
That's
one of those
what
older
I said.
guys.
I said I wouldn't look. I wouldn't mind that. I got to see. I want to see Sergio definitely like against somebody under Triple G to see, you know, because Triple G got that power.
No, I think he meant Safada's chasing Triple G.
Oh,
Yeah, he's the number 1.
And Garcia, Sergio's 2.
2. Yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, both of those fights are possible. I mean, for Safada, he's just got to get the investors to bring Triple G to Australia.
Yeah, Triple G's going anywhere. So
Wherever there's money.
wherever there's money.
So that's what Australia needs, though, is the big names coming there. You know, for example, Pacquiao, Haney.
You guys got to lighten up on the allowing people in there, though.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
That's
They're
why we
turning
didn't
people
go.
over at the
100%.
door.
No, that's why we didn't go.
Yeah.
And I tried.
Yeah.
And this guy, he did 2 tours in Afghan, and they still ain't let him in.
And it just came down to when they're like, oh well, you know, we can try this, but there's no. And I'm just like, bro, I'm not gonna keep
during the COVID lockdown. That was pretty wild, man.
man.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that was interesting. And that was somebody, you know, being here in Vegas. That was camps 9 and 10 that I've seen Devin in. So it was like I wanted to be there. I saw another level of work that I had never seen. I wanted to, you know, be able to, you know, see Australia. Like if you're getting a stadium fight, I knew they were gonna pack it out, and I see how Australian fans get for rugby. So I was like, I could only imagine how they're gonna get for their champion. You know, I definitely would have liked to be there, but you know, hopefully they keep making some big fights. You know, Golovkin gets down, or you know, somebody else that would be.
There was talks of Dempsey McKean with Anthony Joshua in Australia. I don't know where that's at, but I know that was in the pipeline to happen.
I feel like that would have been a good fight for like AJ right now instead of like Jermaine Franklin. Like,
well, I think it wasn't received well. Dempsey was one of the names mentioned. It wasn't received well. And you got to remember, at the end of the day, it's a business. I mean, I need to rebuild, but I got to sell tickets. You know, people got to want to come out.
Nah,
but
for
Liam,
sure.
I hate to put you in this predicament, but you did spar Haney, so there are a lot of people that question his power. You know, I got to use you as a gauge. What do you think of the champ's power?
Look, man, I'm not gonna disrespect Haney at all. He's where he's at for a reason. You know what I mean? He's very accurate with his punches, fast. He's got good power, man. He's he's good, man. He's all around. Like he is where he is for a reason. You know what I mean? And I got full respect for him and his camp. They're good people, and I just hope I can keep working with them. So it was a pretty good spot. You seen it yesterday, which is pretty good. It doesn't get much.
And I'm sorry for not coming over. I'm gonna be honest. At first, I'm like, look, he's in the zone. I'm not gonna bother him. And then after the sparring, I'm like, damn, I had the Haney tracksuit jacket on. I'm like, he's not gonna want to show up tomorrow. I'm like, nah. I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm just not gonna say anything. So don't take nothing from it. No.
Then he tells me that, and I'm like, oh my God, how didn't you say at least introduce yourself? It's gonna look even worse now.
I'm like, damn, I got the Haney tracksuit jacket on because I've heard about obviously the sparring like on numerous occasions it just couldn't happen.
Yeah.
Due to scheduling or what have you. So I honestly didn't even think about it. I heard I heard for Tuesday, but I'm like, I didn't even think about it. Left my house, threw my jacket on, and then I'm like, oh crap!
Showed up with his bias jacket.
I'm like, I'll see him on the show tomorrow.
Whose corner was he in yesterday?
I'm like, I'll see him on the show tomorrow. I was a neutral corner.
That was good, but it was good rounds, man.
No, it was great rounds. It was great rounds, especially I mean, I don't want to say. Can I say how many rounds you guys did?
Yeah.
8 straight rounds.
I was impressed when he told me that.
Yeah, let me tell you. Not many people can do 8 straight. You know what I'm saying, like that. So, it was good, especially the Lomachenko fight on the horizon for Devin. It was good. He needs some southpaw sparring, and it was good. Hopefully, after March 11th, you get back. And like you said, close out camp.
No, for sure.
That that would be what for you. What are your biggest takeaways? I mean, obviously you've been around the block a little bit. So Devin isn't the first world champion you step in the ring with. But what is your biggest takeaways when you are in that ring getting work with a world champion?
Man, it's just you take everything away from it. You know what I mean? From how they hold themselves to how they execute their punches. They're at the top for a reason, you know what I mean? Their timing, their speed, everything is just, they don't fall for traps that you usually set on other people. And a little thing yesterday, you sometimes get bad habits, getting lazy, you can get away with it with stuff like that. And anytime you slip a tiny bit, you're going to get caught. So it teaches you to keep your mind on the job all like the full 3 minutes of the spar. So, no, it's good, man. It's just, I love it, man. I love soaking up that experience. And yeah, it's unbelievable to get in there with the best.
I gotta ask because it came up.
Can I jump in?
Okay.
Do you watch tape of any southpaws, like for yourself? Or does your trainer recommend to watch any
not really.
specific fighters?
I don't watch a whole heap of boxing. I watch the fights that are on and stuff like that, but I'll watch a bit here and there of people and try to take bits and pieces that work for me. But I've got my own little unique style, I believe. But yeah, look, I like watching Pernell Whitaker highlights. He's my favorite fighter, so I watch him. I fight nothing like him, but I like watching him, So
I gotta ask because you were with Horn in camp. You said for the Pacquiao fight, and George was in camp with Pacquiao for that fight, and that even came up in the Devin fight. Do you feel that you would owe George any loyalty as a fellow Australian if Devin was like, yo, I want you in camp for Loma, even though that, they already fought and that's done and over with. But if Devin tells you,
Too late for that.
Nah, man, no way. We're on our own journey, you know what I mean? I respect him, but at the same time, I got to worry about myself too, like he would him. You know what I mean? Like,
and the reason I asked, obviously, because for that specific fight, there was outside criticism from certain Australian, certain fighters that said, George owed Horn a call, that he should have told him or he should have not even accepted it.
Which I don't agree with.
No way, man. You got to look after yourself, You're on your own journey. You're on your own path. So
I agree.
You need to, it sounds selfish. You got to worry about yourself first, man, because a lot of people, they wouldn't do that for you. You know what I mean? So if you got to benefit from it, take it with both hands. That's mad. That would have been unbelievable being in camp with Pacquiao. So yeah,
absolutely. No, I agree. I just wanted your thoughts. Being a fighter, and then obviously in an indirect way being part of that at least camp.
Their business is done though now. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Sure.
Being on that matchroom side, do you feel like a Sandor Martin is a step backwards? I mean, he is ranked beneath you.
Yeah, for sure. But look, man, if If it made sense, 100%. I'll fight anybody if it makes sense. But like I said, I want to get past Robbie Davies Jr. and I really want title intentions this year. I really do, man. I really want to test myself with the elite, the best, and who knows, man. God willing, I get it done. It could be a defense against Sandor Martin. He's good, man. He gave Lopez a very good fight. So
I mean, put Mikey in retirement.
Exactly right, man. No one expected him to do that.
I kid you not, I was just scrolling on TikTok last night and I saw Mikey in a music video. I'm like, oh, he's enjoying that retired life for sure.
I got two here from the people. One is just a statement. Canada in Nebraska says, no question, but salute to you for coming on the show with the cool guy swag. Can't wait to see you do your work. And then New York.
He's rocking the Prada shades. He came in
Gucci,
style.
It's that Gucci bag, too. He's got the New York Bullet says, what's good, champ? Who were some of the fighters you watched growing up? Blessings.
Like I said before, Pernell Whitaker. Man, I watched Pacquiao growing up. I watched Mayweather, De La Hoya. Look, I watched a fair few, man. I don't even mind watching Hector Camacho's highlights. He was an outgoing guy. So, yeah, look, I watch a bit of here and there. Roy Jones highlights. I was big on the highlight videos growing up through high school, watching them. So,
yeah, me too.
Good hype or G-ups, I should say. Good G-up videos.
Good G. Yo, Roy had some good G-ups. Yo, there's this video on YouTube of Roy I used to watch before my football game.
Yeah.
American football. I used to watch before the game to get me hyped up. And he had a professional fight. And it's like his camera crew following him around the day of the fight. And he plays like 2 hours of basketball, full court. And then like showers and then gets ready to go to the arena for his title defense that night. And like the whole video, he's just talking shit and just, man, it just used to get me G'd up for the game.
I do want to ask, since you're here, Alberto Puello, the WBA champion, is scheduled to face Rolando Romero in his first title defense at 140. Rolly's moving up from 35, and he's getting a shot. They're saying April. No exact date or venue, but they're saying April. What's your thoughts on that potential fight?
It's a good fight. I sparred both guys last camp. It's really good, man. I don't know who will win that fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I really do. Just depends like who shows up, but yeah, man, I can't pick a winner there. I'm mates with Rollies. I'll go with him.
Speaking of sparring, I'm sure you've seen, and if not, have you heard of the viral sparring that happened about a week ago now of Rolly
About a week ago.
getting knocked out in the Mayweather? Knocked down.
Yo, I seen the video, man, but look, sparring. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good gym fighters. When it comes under the bright lights, they crumble. So it's a whole different thing, you know. I believe you can't win a spar, you get the upper hand, but you're learning, man. You know what I mean? You're practicing different things, but I think that's the worst thing about social media and phones these days, man, is that kind of stuff. Which, you know, when the top liners, there's no phones at all for that reason. But look, man, it is boxing, man. It's like you can't go swimming without getting wet. You can't box without getting hit, you know. So,
but no concerns. I mean, coming off of a Tank knockout, now being knocked down and sparring in that fashion.
Look, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see because it is very close to each other, man. So, we're gonna have to see how his chin really holds up. It's a whole different story in 8-ounce gloves too. Like
you said, you sparred him. How was the sparring, and would you be willing to help him for this camp, given that Puello is also a southpaw?
Yeah, why not, man? 100%. I'm a bit shorter than Puello, but I'll get in there if he needs some southpaw work for sure. You know, I help anyone out. You know, get some rounds, and you know it's benefiting me too. So why not?
At what point, if at any point, do you turn down sparring because of we might fight
potential
each other?
Fights.
Potential fight.
Look, man, I don't know. I leave that up to my coach. So whatever he thinks, man. So whatever what the system we got now is working. So he tells me we're sparring. I was 100%. You know, I have full trust in Steve, and so yeah, whatever he says.
I like that.
You know.
I got one coming in from Cali. Victor Banuelo says, what are your top 5 offensive fighters of all time?
Oh, man. Shit, 5. Well, Tyson. Can't go past him. Prince Nassim. Shit, man. Put me on the spot. For Pacquiao's good, man. He's very offensive. Man, I can't even really think. What about you guys? What's the last?
I wanted to ask you today.
I would say Loma.
Oh, yeah, Loma, yeah.
I wanted to ask you today. We're actually on this show. We're actually talking about David Benavidez. I think that he's an individual, high output.
Yeah.
You know, especially for that weight class. And although I do believe in the power, you know, people talk about the power, but it's usually volume that stops it. So I think right now he's definitely one of the better offensive fighters. For sure.
Who do you got out of him and Plant? Who you?
Tough fight to pick.
Tough
Yeah.
fight to pick.
Tough fight to pick.
Yeah, and
Plants
I'm gonna be honest.
changed perception so much with that knockout. Like, obviously, I always argued that he had power because he put Uzcategui down twice. But being able to knock out Durrell in that fashion, it really makes you question how much power he has. The accuracy comes into play. You know, you got to factor in that Ronald Graville put down Benavidez, but he was younger. He's focused for this fight. He throws so many punches. Can Plant take the pressure, especially when we seen Canelo put, you know, a calmer pressure, right? Canelo's putting mental pressure constantly in front of you. Like, Plant's going to be in front of you with fucking shots.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
that's
excited.
a tough one.
Like, that's a fight. I've only been in the media world less than 5 years. So living in Vegas before that, that's a fight that I wanted as a fan. I remember arguing that fight in 2017. So now that we're in 2023, it's just, you know, I'm happy and I'm excited to
5 years, right? Wow,
yeah.
that's sad.
I mean, to be fair though, Plant hadn't even become world champ, and I was arguing that fight.
No, I hear you, but there was a time where they both had belts.
Yeah,
they could have unified. It was crazy.
You know, they could have ended. There's a true dislike with each other.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's gotten beyond personal. You know, the build up fight week. I mean, you'll be in town, so hopefully that's a fight you're able to attend.
Yep.
You know, training now in Vegas. So that's a fight that I'm really looking forward to. We do live shows for the fights, and those are usually our biggest shows. So we miss a lot of the fights in person because we'll be in studio. And he asked me the other day, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be in person at that one, mister. Definitely not missing it.
Nah, and I prefer to watch it on television. I feel like that's the best seat in the house. You know, you get inside the ring, and as an official, you only have one side of that ring. You know, so I'd rather be in.
And I agree, but you know the atmosphere and the like. Sure. I could only
that's what
imagine.
Fight Week's for.
No, but you know, like I was there for Wilder Fury 1. You were in LA and chose not to go, and my seat ended up being.
I went to everything Fight Week.
Yeah, he did, and my seat ended up being my media seat ended up being where the ring walks came out. Yo, I get goosebumps watching the video on my phone back of Fury coming out. Like, that event was top.
We got to go there live. Me and Steve, that was
so
the atmosphere was nuts.
That atmosphere was nuts. I could imagine what Pacquiao Horn was. I could imagine what Kambosos Haney 1 was at Marvel Stadium, you know. So I know that atmosphere is gonna be ridiculous. I know that the intensity, my heart rate is higher at fights in person. My heart rate is through the roof sometimes. So it's a bit different sometimes.
Liam, do you know anything about this weekend's fight with Wood and Laura?
I've seen a little bit of it with the matchroom build up and stuff like that, but
you think it goes the distance?
I don't know, man. I really don't know. That fight with Wood and Conlon was a cracker. That was a good fight.
Yeah, man. Laura's been on a real hot streak, but I don't know if he's gonna. Can he get it? Can he get the knockout? I think Wood might take him the decision. So I'm staying away. I'm usually a better, but
yeah.
I don't know. After what, like you said, that Conlon Wood fight was insane. So
crazy, man. I think Wood's on a high from that too, so I think that's gonna help out coming into this fight. A lot of confidence.
Yes, it should be a good one. It should be a good one. But anything else, champ?
That is all the questions. Yep. We got to everybody.
Liam, please, well, first and foremost, thank you for joining us. Now that you're in Vegas, we'll be hopefully get you on as a regular and get a lot more coverage of you. We do appreciate it. Please make sure to give out any social media information for the fight March 11th, tickets, whatever the case may be.
No, yeah, thanks for having me on, man. It was a pleasure to be on the show, and look forward to coming on again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a shout out to everyone that supported me throughout my career and my journey, and I have to make it proud March 11th.
All right,
social
well,
media. Social media.
Find me on Liam Paro Boxing on Instagram, Twitter, Paro Liam, and Facebook Liam the Prodigy Paro.
March 11th in Liverpool on Dazn. Make sure to tune in. Do not miss it.
Catch us on the next one, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
That's GTL Ringwalk Denny.
Peace. What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.